Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, we've got a slightly smaller alpha. I am still working away on update 70. Mostly behind the scenes stuff this week. That's not super exciting. But I do have some new toys for you that I slipped in along the way. So let's go take a look at them. I want to apologize ahead of time for any flubbing with things, despite the fact that it looks like I'm using Vive wands at the moment. I actually have Knuckles controllers plugged in because I'm working on some input system stuff, and I'm so bad at using them compared to the Vive sticks that I'm dropping everything and just generally look like a brand new VR user. So let's see. Let's take a look at the new toys. The first thing we have is a classic here. It is the return of the M4 Classic. Note there's no Picatinny rails on the front. This is the original here. Let's pop that in. And I realized I didn't actually leave it out for myself. There's one very important piece that I know some of you have missed terribly since I removed with the incorrectly dimensioned model. That's right, we have ourselves a carry handle on the top. Just look at that beaut. Look at it. Well, helps do this first. Wonderful. Pop that out. Tap. Gorgeous. Gorgeous looking model. We have our, whoops, oh, look at that. Breaking physics. We will fix that right after filming this devlog. You can probably tell I am a little scattered this week. So there we have it. Classic M4, finally. Sorry it took me so long to replace that model. Man, those of you who have been around for long enough, the first M4 that was in the game, actually before it even had the name, looked very similar to this, and despite the fact that I loved that model, it wasn't the correct size, so it got pulled out and replaced a while back, but obviously with a more modern looking M4, and a number of folk have really wanted a classic one. So there you have it. We also have a diminutive cousin that fills a type that's been requested for a while. We have a AR-style carbine here that is compatible with G17, 18, and 19 magazines. So very similar to the QC9 in certain ways. It's an even tighter form factor. It's semi-only because it's a civvy gun. We do have an expandable stock, but you'll notice when I shoulder this, this is about as right up on the face as something could be. So if you're looking for a super compact 9mm semi-carbine, there you have it. As I said, takes these. This is from the G19, so it's a 15 rounder, and I believe this is a 33 rounder. So wonderful. So there you have it. That is our new toys this week. Oh, and another thing, I have done some model replacement to go with to basically match things up with our SOSIG guns and SOSIG grenades, which is basically that the SOSIG melee weapons have also gotten that treatment so that they are visually distinct from the player weapons. You can see they are now made out of the same sort of like rubberized polycarbonate kind of look. And one of the reasons for this is that these will, because they're SOSIG weapons, and they have to be simpler in a bunch of ways, physics-wise, computation-wise, they'll never have the features that player melee weapons will, like the stabbing and the lodging. And so I didn't want people getting confused, going like, why does this Tanto stab and this one doesn't? Why does this hatchet lodge and this one doesn't? So they now have a distinct look with their own set of simplified rules. And that is how they work. Wonderful. So, cool. Let us jump out of VR now and actually talk about a really important bug fix or bug fix attempt that has randomly struck a number of you that I think I have a solution for this week that I want those of you dealing with this bug to test. Yo! Hope you're all doing well. So, as I was talking about, the big bug that I've been trying to squash is that for a seemingly random selection of users, at random times, for random updates, with nothing in common with their hardware, seem to occasionally have an issue where the async load of the game proceeds to about 98 or 99% and then just hangs there. In most cases, it does still eventually finish, but only after like 10 to 15 minutes. And I've been trying to track down why this bug is occurring for almost a year, if not longer, actually. It has been so frustrating. And so I have added a bunch of a test to attempt to force the synchronous load at the end, as well as some debug output for it. So if you are one of these users and are sitting there at the level load plinth and it's at 99% and it's not completing, after a couple seconds you will see a new button appear in the bottom right. Go ahead and like give it 10 to 15 seconds, just see if it completes. It can sometimes be like normal slow but not bugged out right at the end. But if you stand there for like more than a minute and it is not finished, just click that button and see if it works. If you're in that situation and the button either doesn't work or doesn't appear, you can also hit L on the keyboard in that circumstance. When you do this, it may kick you back out to the compositor momentarily. It may just like that is, it should not be the game crashing. It should be the game just like hard hanging as it attempts to force that load. If it does crash, do let me know though. Or if anything else weird happens, let me know. Or if it doesn't work at all, let me know. Steam forum bug reports section. If this process does work, it might be something that I end up building in as like a completely automated hang detection that then just forces the synchronous load after a certain amount of seconds. But I want to make sure that this actually fixes the problem and doesn't reveal a deeper problem. Let's see here. Beyond that, it was mainly just sort of like small, like little bug testy things. I'm still rooting out a couple unusual issues with the pathfinding system for the SOSIGs before I do basically this. What I want to do this week with the SOSIGs is do a sort of final polish pass to all of their changes to navigation to bring them up to full functionality. And so that includes putting cover points in the Rotwiener scene. And that means making them handle what are called off-mesh links more correctly. So instead of having like the way of the pipes in the breaching scene, how they're just like, I'm up here, down here again, actually having a bunch of special case handling. That's going to be my project for this coming week, which means that next Friday, cross his fingers, should be the last alpha of Update 70, so I can push that back out, get back onto the main branch, because I know a lot of people don't switch over to the alpha, and I think that the new SOSIGs are so enjoyable to fight against. It's important that I get it out there. There's still some perception stuff that I need to change. Like I'm realizing that in tight indoor environments, the player's a little too invisible to them. It's basically a system that I wrote to detect the player being in cover in an outdoor scene, sort of go running amok when you're indoors, which might, if you've experienced like being like, hey, I'm right here, and the SOSIGs don't see you, that's that system malfunctioning. And so I need to fix that as well. So that does it for game stuff. I'm sure many of you have been following. I didn't go to GDC this year. I was just still too tired and sort of worn out from being sick back in January, but I've been following it intensely. It certainly seems like the landscape of announced HMDs is at the very least unexpected. But to all of you out there who are evaluating different purchases, I'm going to continue to do my best to make sure that all of these darn things work in the game. It might take me a while to get you custom controller geometry. Obviously, I still don't have it for WMR. I'm waiting for my rep to actually like send me the mesh files for it. But yeah, but that's it is all being, it's being factored into the changes that I'm making to my input system that are designed to make it easier for me to support these various platforms instead of this never-ending sequence of really hacky overrides. So hopefully that should get a bit smoother for me. And that's, of course, why I'm playing around with these a whole bunch, because these are quite different. So anywho, that just about does it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend playing around with the new toys, and please continue to test things. I've got quite a backlog of bugs that I need to work on, but I'm hoping to get more of those cleared this week now that I'm not distracted from just obsessively following everything taking place at GDC this week. Be well. Peace.